Have you ever wanted to predict the future, like how things were going to go at work or maybe in a family situation with your kids? Well, I can predict the future, and yep, I'm going to tell you how to do it as well today on the Next Simple Step podcast. I'm Paul Goldsmith. Okay, no hocus pocus here. I am not a fortune teller, but I have learned that the best way to predict the future is to create it. Truly, you can have a greater impact on your future than maybe you realize. Let's take an example of some change that you seek, and maybe it's something related to your job. You're looking for a promotion or a new line of work, a totally new field, an entrepreneurial experience, something that you just aren't doing now, but you'd like to do in the future. The first thing you have to do is get really clear about what that future looks like. What does it smell like? What does it taste like? Write down all the details that you can imagine, because without a full picture of where you're going, it's hard to get there. I recently watched the 3-part documentary Arnold about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and one thing that really struck me was that he had a clear vision for every transformation in his life. First, growing up, wanted to become a bodybuilder, and then he studied other bodybuilders and did everything required to become the most famous, biggest bodybuilder in the world. And at some point along the way, he decided that he wanted to become a Hollywood leading actor. And so he clearly visualized what it would take to do that, and he accomplished it. And then he decided to do it a third time by running for governor of California. And I realized that not everybody has necessarily the skill set to accomplish such big feats. However, it's very clear that there's a lot of people that do have a particular skill set that without a vision, without a clear direction, they never realize their dream. They think about it a lot, but they can never seem to get any forward momentum. You may have heard of people creating vision boards, and that's never really been my thing, like cutting out pictures from magazine. Now, that works for a lot of people, so if that works for you, create your vision board. But for me, I like words, and so writing it down actually helps me. And my friend Dave actually gave me an excellent recommendation that I'll pass along to you. He said, write your future biography. If you're being introduced on a podcast or to new people in a business setting, how would you like your introduction to sound? Write that out, and that becomes the vision you're working toward. Once you have that, to get momentum, you can't just obsess about the destination. You have to focus on the journey, the steps to get there. Business author and investor Keith Cunningham says it this way: you'll want to go to Oz, but until you can show me the yellow brick road, you can't get to Oz. You have to obsess over the yellow brick road. Otherwise, it's a dream, and dreams are not strategies that get you anywhere. They're not plans. People literally will wander in circles without clear direction of where they're going. Scientists actually tested this theory by telling people to walk in a straight line for several hours. And the results showed that participants were only able to keep a straight path when the sun or moon was visible. However, as soon as the sun disappeared behind some clouds, people started walking in circles without even noticing it. As the scientists said in the report, the results from these experiments show that even though people may be convinced they are walking in a straight line, their perception is not always reliable. So without clear landmarks of where you're going, you will literally walk in circles. You have to obsess over the process, the yellow brick road of getting to that next destination. Or metaphorically, if we're talking about your career or your entrepreneurial objectives, you have to get clear about what the next tangible steps are. If you're not clear about what that is, get curious and just get moving. You'll adapt along the way to see if that's bringing you closer to your goal or further away. And it's really important, though, that you get moving, because for anything to get momentum, it has to be in motion. And the worst thing you can do is just sit at your desk or on your recliner and wish you were somewhere else or doing something else. You can build the plane as you're flying it, because that will give you options that you didn't have on the ground. The best way to predict your future is to create it, vision it, build the plan, and get moving. Take the next simple steps today, tomorrow, next week. And as you go, just keep in mind, nothing ever goes as planned. As Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan till they get punched in the face. So you adapt as you go. And if you decide you don't really want the future you thought you wanted, change it. It's your future. Own it. If you're looking for some coaching to help you navigate your next simple steps toward your desired future, reach out. I'd be happy to help with a complimentary coaching call. We can see if we're a good fit to work together. My number, 559-574-3210. And I'll talk to you next time on the next Simple Step Podcast.